Charlie said lightly, "Don't drink it, next time, I have to leave now for home." After speaking, he raised the wine glass in his hand and said seriously, "I've done this glass of wine." As soon as the voice fell, he drank all the wine in the glass and took Claire's hand to leave. Because Charlie drank, Claire was responsible for driving. On the way back, she said anxiously, "I think my dad is tempted by that aunt again, so he wants to divorce my mom. I really worry about it. You can help me think of a way to see how to get my dad change his mind." Charlie said, "What do you say about this kind of thing? If dad really doesn't have feelings for mom, and forcibly keeping them together not to be separated, it will be torture for both of them." Claire sighed and asked, "Then you mean to make them short-term pain better than long-term pain?" Charlie smiled and said, "What kind of person Mother is, don't you know? She will make short-term pains from the labors, and short-term pains will be caused by her to grow up. Even if Dad wants to divorce her, I'm afraid it's not that easy." Claire was stunned suddenly, her heart was full of enlightenment. With the mother's temper and character, even if the father wants to divorce, it is difficult to get what he wants. Thinking of this, she also suddenly realized that her mother's death-seeking thing was probably still acting. So she was also relieved. As soon as the BMW drove into the villa, they heard Elaine cursing on the street. "Jacob, you despondent bastard. I have suffered so much for you and suffered so much. So you still have to divorce me." Charlie and Claire got out of the car, and as soon as they entered the door, they saw Elaine standing in the living room, cursing shamelessly. Because Elaine's 2 front teeth were still missing, she leaked when she spoke. When she got excited, it not only leaked the wind, but also kept spitting out. Jacob deliberately kept a distance of more than 5 meters from her at this time, and said angrily, "Don't tell me those useless things. I'm broke with you now. There is no other choice except divorce." Elaine scolded, "Dog stuff, you are simply dreaming. I tell you, I am dead, I will not divorce you." Jacob said angrily, "You wait, I will go to the court to sue tomorrow." Elaine scolded angrily, "UFC king bluff me? Do you think that the court is yours, you can get a divorce if you go to prosecute? I tell you, in order to prevent you from doing this, inquired about it many years ago. As long as I disagree with the divorce, the court will not be able to sentence us to divorce for no reason." Jacob said angrily, "I have no relationship with you anymore. A marriage without an emotional basis will be sentenced by law." Elaine said triumphantly, "Cut, what if there is no emotional foundation? I tell you, the relevant laws have regulations. Even if there is no emotional foundation, you must have separated for 2 years before you can be sentenced to divorce." Jacob was taken aback, and immediately stomped his heart, and said, Then I will be separated from you now, and counting from now, 2 years later, if you don't leave, you will also have to leave." Elaine curled her lips and said, "You want to separate with me, right? I tell you, 2 people live in a house and sleep in separate rooms. This is not separation. If you want to separate, you can get out of the Thompson villa. Live in a house." After speaking, Elaine said again, "You can move back to the old house alone. Go and go." Jacob gritted his teeth, "As long as I can get rid of you as a bitch. Even if I go to sleep in the bridge hole for 2 years, I am willing." Elaine waved her hand, "Then you get out quickly, get out now, get out to somewhere." After speaking, Elaine threatened, "Your front foot is gone, and my back foot chopped the furniture that your father left behind and burned wood. You." Jacob shivered angrily, "What is the difference between your approach and that of a beast?" Elaine hummed, "You care so much, don't you want to move out? Hurry up, go now." Jacob suddenly became dumbfounded. He really wanted to separate from Elaine, but he was really reluctant to leave Thompson first grade. This big villa with elevator is so cool to live in. After living here, look at the small house before, it is no different from the chicken coop. But now that he has only lived here for a few days, if he let himself move out, then he really feel a little unwilling. Claire watched the 2 talking, arguing incessantly, and said helplessly, "Dad, Mom. I haven't had a good day, why you started to make trouble again?" Elaine said, "I want to live a good life, but your dad doesn't want to." Jacob blurted out, "I have nothing to do with you, I can't go together anymore. Charlie knew very well in his heart that the old master must want to stay and fly with Mei Ching, but what he thought was too beautiful. Doesn't he have any compelling numbers in his heart because of his wife? Seeing Jacob so decisive, Elaine said angrily, "Okay, you can't live with me, right? Yes, then you can live without me for 2 years, and then go to the court to sue for divorce." As she said, Elaine snorted and said, "But Jacob, I can tell you in advance that I am a very careful person. If you divorce me, let me know that you are better than me and more comfortable than me. Then I may be uncomfortable. You know what I will do when I feel uncomfortable, you know better than anyone else, and I will definitely make you feel more uncomfortable than me, so that my heart can be balanced. In other words, if you dare to find a little vixen outside and live secretly at that time, then I must confuse your good things, and then I haunt you every day. I am your ghost, I am your shadow, you will never get rid of me." When Jacob heard this, his soul was frightened. According to Elaine's words, even if he bears her for 2 years and finally can dissolve the marriage, she is not going to let him go. If he is with Mei Ching at that time, once Elaine knows about it, wouldn't she still be crazy? She still doesn't know anything about Mei Ching, she will haunt her every day as her own ghost. At that time, if she knows about Mei Ching, or even know that he's with Mei Ching, then she can cut him to death with a knife.